at 7 o'clock, so I'm going to call the meeting to order. This is the regular meeting of the Village Council for the Village of Leonard. Today is February 13th, 2023. I'm sad to relate that the village lost another resident right after our last meeting. Larry Hoffman passed away. So our condolences go out to him and his family as well. He'll be missed. He was a former member of the village council as well for quite a few years. So, okay, so if you could please rise for a pledge of allegiance and a brief invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Any volunteers for the invocation? John, please.
God, we thank you for this day you gave to us. Pray that you give us wisdom for the meeting.
Very good. Thank you. Okay. Lori, could we have a roll call for attendance for the village council?
President McDonald?
Here.
Trustee Kennedy?
Here.
Trustee Pelichick? Here. Trustee Swack? Here. Trustee Hawkins?
Here.
We'll note for the record that both Clerk Lori Zelenak and Treasurer Judy Bruce are present. The council has before it the minutes of our last regular meeting that was January 9th, 2023. Are there any questions, changes, corrections? If none, a motion to approve would be in order. I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the January 9th, 2023 meeting.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the January 9th meeting. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Okay. Next item on the agenda is agenda approval. I'd like to ask the council's indulgence. We had a request from our decorating committee to consider an item, so we'll add that to our new business. Other than that, is there any other questions or changes to the agenda? If not, a motion to approve it as amended would be in order.
I will make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the amended agenda. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Okay, moving on then to the treasurer's report. Are there any questions, changes, or corrections? If none, a motion to approve, receive, and file it would be in order.
I will make a motion to approve the treasurer's report and file it. It's January 20th.
Support that.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve the treasurer's report as presented. Any questions on the motion? Hearing none. Can we have a roll call for that, please, Lori?
Swack?
Yes.
Hawkins?
Yes.
McDonald?
Yes.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Pelichick?
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. Next item on the agenda is the accounts payable for the month of January 2023. The general fund, major funds, local fund, all have amounts for them. Are there any questions about the accounts payable? If not, motion to pay the bills for January would be in order.
I will make a motion to approve, file, and pay the bills for January.
In the
In the
amount?
amount of the general, $17,730.09. Major, major, $1,632.04. Local, $246.50. And Millen Park, Recreation, $0.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Been a motion and a second to approve payment of the bills for January 2023. Are there any questions on the motion? Hearing none, can we have a roll call for paying the bills, Lori?
Hawkins,
Yes.
Sweat,
Yes.
Pellicet,
Yes.
Kennedy,
Yes.
McDonald.
Yes. Okay, motion carried. Okay, at this time, we are having our public hearing for our budget and our truth and taxation statement. Before we go into that, we considered our budget at our last regular meeting, and I am recommending approval of that budget. There have been a couple of requests or changes to consider. One of them was from the decorating committee. They were asking for a little more money, but it was still within what we had authorized last year. And there was also, I had some concerns, I still do, about what road project we might get done if we can get some more road tarring done. Crack sealing would be the best way. But it's not something that's going to make or break us. Once we get our account reserve numbers completed, after we transition from this budget at the end of this month to the new budget that we're looking at tonight, I think we'll have enough. If we need to make an amendment, we can do that going forward for both of those items. And then I'm also recommending that we levy the same millage that we have now for several years, which is 7 mills. So with that, I'm going to ask for the council to go into close the regular meeting and open the public hearing on truth and taxation
So
and the budget.
I will make a motion to close the council meeting, open the public hearing for budget and truth and taxation.
Support that.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to close the regular meeting and open the public hearing on truth and taxation and the 23-24 budget. Can we have a roll call, please, Lori?
Sure. Pellicet,
Yes.
Sweat,
Yes.
Hawkins,
Yes.
McDonald,
Yes.
Kennedy.
Yes.
Okay, at this time, if anybody has any comments from the public or questions, actually, we're supposed to take comment. We really can't.
Same side, close it.
Yeah. So we're open for that.
So I have to phrase my question in the form of a comment.
Well,
I just wondered what revenue sharing is.
that is money that is. It used to be set aside directly based on population from the federal government to the state, and then the state would send it out. Revenue sharing has become a bit of a hybrid now. It includes some federal funding, but the state legislature has had to supplement it because of revenue losses and changes across our state. I can't speak for other states. So it's never a sure thing. It is still relatively approximate. Every year it seems to be that way. But it's because we're a village, we're constitutionally entitled to it at this time.
So it comes into the village.
Into the village,
Okay.
it's revenue. Anything else? Okay, we'll close the public.
I will make a motion to close the public hearing and resume the regular council meeting.
Support.
Thank you. So we have a motion to close the public hearing and resume the regular meeting. Are there any questions on the motion? If none, we have a roll call, please.
Kennedy,
Yes.
Hawkins,
Yes.
Sweat,
Yes.
McDonald,
Yes.
Pellicet.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, now there's opportunity for the public to comment to the council. You're not, it's not mandatory, Les, I'm not putting you on the spot. But, okay, hearing none, we'll move on to new business, which, our first item would be the adoption of our selling mill property tax for the village and the adoption of the 2023-2024 balanced budget in the amount of $269,297.24.
I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the proposed 2023-2024 budget with a continued property tax of 7 mills for a total of $269,297.24.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I will second.
Okay, we have a motion to adopt the budget. Judy, wasn't there some other language that we use when we're doing that? I can't seem to be maybe in
It was kind of, some of it was like the stuff that was in the ad, but I can't tell you exactly
Yeah.
words.
Okay,
Just so that we get our seven,
but
our
yeah,
seven mills together.
that included the 7 mills.
Yes. Yeah, I believe I said with a continued 7 mil tax rate.
Okay, so we'll have the roll call then for approval.
Okay. McDonald,
Yes.
Swack,
Yes.
Kennedy,
Yes.
Hawkins,
Yes.
Pelichick.
Yes.
Okay. Motion carried. Okay. Next item under new business is the Michigan Cannabis Regulators Network.
Wait.
What?
We kind of, the amount you gave was for the general only. We have to do major and local,
Oh,
since you didn't mention those.
yeah, no, you're right. That's why it didn't feel right. I knew I missed something. Okay, I'd like a motion to approve the Village of Leonard budget in,
For each category.
sorry,
For each category.
yeah, by approve approve the budget by fund, in fact, and functional category. So it's not a line item budget, it's a functional category budget, which means most of you know what that means, but I'll explain it if you want me to. And so, yeah, the total amount, Judy, is what?
Well, I don't
Well,
know. They're listed separately because,
I think that's all we have to do. I don't
Right.
remember ever stating the amounts.
No, right.
Okay. So, can I ask, let's see, do we want to amend that other motion or just,
Sure. I'd like to amend my previous motion to approve the 2023 budget to 2023, sorry, let me
take your
I'd
time?
like to make a motion to strike my previous motion and then adopt a new motion to adopt the 2023-2024 budget with a 7 mil tax rate with a budget of $269,297.24 for the general, for the major, $82,045.50, and for local, $18,673. Is there another bucket that I missed again?
7 mil, and you said 7 mil.
I did.
I will still second
Thank you. Are there any questions on the motion? Should be. Excuse me. Okay, do we have a roll call for that, please?
Kennedy,
Yes.
Pelichick,
Yes.
Swack, yes, Hawkins,
Yes.
McDonald.
Yes. Thank you, Judy. Okay. Now, the next item is the Michigan Cannabis Regulators Network membership. I only recently learned about this network, which is composed of municipalities in Michigan that already have marijuana facilities, et cetera, in their communities. But it's $50 to become a member. And I'm thinking that's money well spent at this point because I don't want to get caught blindsided and end up having to deal with, new regulations and et cetera without having some background information. It may be something that we won't continue in the future after 1 year, but it was very nice. I read a brief synopsis of the organization's goals and it aligns with ours. We want people to be safe. We don't want public nuisances, and it's an effective. It can be an effective committee because it is composed of communities. It's not for the marijuana promoters, etc. This is just managing in your community. And we do, even though we don't have recreational, we do have the medicinal. So it would be good. It would be good background for us to at least learn more. And I think it would be helpful. So I'm recommending that if the council is inclined to agree with me.
You said the fee was $50?
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to allot $50 for the village to join the Michigan Cannabis Regulators Network.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve membership for the village in the MCRN. Are there any questions on the motion? Hearing none, do we have a roll call, please?
Sven,
Yes.
Kennedy,
Yes.
McDonald,
Yes.
Hawkins,
Yes.
Pelichick.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, the next item on our agenda, and the council should have it in their packet, is the village fee resolution, which we're required by law to adopt fees for the community pursuant to the laws that apply to it. There are a few changes in the amounts on this, but mainly in terms of covering engineering and planning consultant fees. And in addition to what we normally see in the fee resolution in the past, I added all of our land division and planning fees to it so that they're now in one place. And there's not schedules all over. Everything monetarily for our fees, etc., will be covered by this fee resolution. And so I would ask the council's input and approval of it, if you're so inclined. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to address them. You'll see in the spreadsheet itself, electronically, there would be tabs all the way across the bottom. And you would just click on the tab for electrical permits or for FOIA requests, rentals. There's a fee schedule for each one of those. So, and then I would ask if we, to adopt it, that we adopt it by the resolution that's on the first page.
like to make a motion that the Village of Leonard adopt the resolution for the establishment of fees, services, permits, and applications, required security and assessment of fines for the prescribed documentation.
I will second.
Thank you. Okay, we have a motion and a second to adopt the preamble and resolution for the Village of Leonard fee schedule according to the terms on the first page of the document. Are there any questions on the motion? If not, we'd like a roll call vote, please, for adoption.
Pelichick?
Yes.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Swack?
Yes.
McDonald?
Yes.
Hawkins?
Yes.
Okay. The resolution is adopted, and thank you very much. Okay, council should have received all of the 2023 meeting schedule for the village and the related committees that the village is involved in. I think we are missing one in the packet. Would that be the planning commission?
The only one missing is decorated, summer festival.
Oh, summer festival? I know you can. So we, okay.
Yeah, we'll have to get that.
Okay. So we'll get that one straightened out too. I thought they were gonna have a meeting in February. I don't know if they did. Usually the first Monday of the month. It's okay.
I think it's usually this Monday.
So, I guess, could I have a motion to approve the meeting schedule for the village and related committees?
I will make a motion to approve the meeting schedule for 2023 for the village and related committees.
I'll second. There's a motion and a second to approve the 2023 meeting schedules. Are there any questions on the motion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor of the adoption of the meeting schedule as presented, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Okay, they're adopted. Great. Okay, number 5, the NODA contract and resolution adoption. You should have received an email from me not too long ago about the transition that NODA, the North Oakland Transportation Authority, is going through since the adoption of the Oakland County Transit Tax. NODA did not levy its quarter mill allocation this year because of the passage of that millage back in November. It was for 0.95 of a mill. And while there had not been anything officially in writing completed at that time, we operated under the assumption and with the acknowledge that the county did want to keep NODA active and part of the transportation system. So after many meetings and much interaction, all of the 6 member communities, contracting communities, have approved it. The NODA board approved the agreement. It contains a budget. We would be getting $2.85 million from the county. And then our total budget at NODA is about $4 million because we also receive funds for the transportation of people that can't drive to work. There's a number of other funds. We get some significant federal funds, but that is subject to change as well. So we're looking at a budget total of $4,002,080 for 2023. And a lot of the costs for that budget are due to the passage of the transportation tax for the county and the fact that they directed us that if we have an agreement, we have to make a few changes. We had to increase wages for the drivers, for the dispatchers, which in turn, they didn't mandate us that we had to have full-time supervision, but in fact, we will have to have we have already made our executive director full-time and the operations manager full-time because we are adding 3 more routes in Addison, Orion, and Oxford townships. And by the end of the year, the agreement indicates that they want us to expand our boundaries further west and south. Now, that's not a great deal, but it's just a lot to manage, is the basic thing. So the millage amount covers that. The millage money that the county is giving us covers that difference. So it's the way I've looked and tried to inform people is that the more money, I don't like it, goes against my grain, but the more money that we get back from what we're paying into the county, we'll never get it all back, but we should get as much as we can. I mean, if they want us to expand, if they want us to be part of it, then that's the price they'll have to pay, and we have to pay. And whether or not that continues, we'll just have to see. We did get one of the things the county did not want to do initially was they didn't want a 3-year. We got a 3-year agreement. They wanted a 1-year only agreement, and we said, all of us, it wasn't just NODA, it was West Oakland Transportation Authority and OPC in Rochester. We all said, you're asking us to create a system and not promising to pay for it beyond 1 year. I said, we can't, make that kind of commitment. So they eventually said, okay, we'll uncap the budget in the second and third years, and we'll renegotiate them as they come up, but we will have you for at least 3 years. Ideally, they say they want us forever, but they're only willing to go 3 years. So, and I don't know what the other communities got technically, but I can tell you that SMART got $41 million out of a $66 million budget. The local communities, NODA, WODA, and OPC got, I think slightly, right around $8 million, which left the county with another $15 million of unassigned funds. So that's where we are now. Since we're members of NODA, and it's an intergovernmental agency with the other 5 members, all of us have to approve this agreement in order for us to work with the county. So that's why we're here tonight, is to make that approval, I hope. We have two ways to do it. There's a very lengthy, long one to adopt, and the legal counsel for the NODA drafted be it resolved that the Village of Leonard Council hereby approves the public transportation agreement between North Oakland County Transportation Authority and Oakland County. It's very simple, very straightforward. Bless you. I have all of the other information available, and you should have gotten it too as attachments. But if you have any questions, now's a good time to go ahead and ask. Otherwise, I happen to be serving currently as the chair for NODA, and I can tell you that I went to several meetings at the county and as a representative for both the village and for NODA. And so there was a lot of time and effort, and we really, we didn't make out great, but we came a long ways beyond what they had originally offered or how they wanted to do it. So I don't have a problem approving it personally, but what was important was that all of us could agree on it. And so when the NODA board voted to recommend approval to the local member communities, that's why we're here tonight. So if there aren't any questions, want the lengthy resolution or the short one? Short. Okay, I'll read it again. Or Lori, can you read it?
Be it resolved that the Village Council of Leonard approves the
Public Transportation Agreement and Resolution between North Oakland County Transportation Authority and Oakland County. Is there a motion to that effect?
If you want me to read it, I can read it. But otherwise, I would make that motion as read twice.
Okay. Okay. There's a motion to adopt the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
You're smiling, Alex. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Are there any questions on the motion? Final reading, or are we good? Okay, do we have a roll call in for approval of the NODA contract and resolution?
McDonald,
Yes.
Swack,
Yes.
Hawkins,
Yes.
Kennedy,
Yes.
Pelichick.
Yes.
Very good, thank you. We're the first community to approve it. There's another, although Lake Orion Village has a meeting tonight as well, so I assume it'll be approved there as well. Okay, thank you for that. All right, the final item is the decorating committee. I think Jennifer sent it to all of us, Jennifer Arundel, asking us to consider. First request was, as I mentioned, she wanted to see a little more money in the decorating committee budget, but this is not based on that request. But she couldn't be here tonight because she's got COVID. There's 10% off from the company that benches and planters and bike racks were purchased from. Decorating committee has proposed obtaining 2 more benches for downtown for the memorial on the side of Roland Hall. Currently, the 4-foot black benches are $509 each plus shipping. Then with the sale, it is 10% off. If we could obtain one for this year, it could help with the updates in the village. Also, to add planters going south on Forest Street and the old 44 studio and distinctive design to help bring uniformity to the village. These are $375.95 minus 10%. Cost for 2 would be $751.90. This will depend can't read it quite well. She also asked if the mill would be able to replace the planters they have currently to match the ones in the village. She felt it would take 4 to do that at a cost of approximately $1,500. This does not include the shipping. I personally don't have a problem authorizing the purchase of 2 of the benches and 2 of the planters. The benches would be before shipping. Benches would be 2 benches would be $917, and 2 planters would be $676.71. Those figures are both after the discount, 10%, which will probably cover the shipping. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
more or less. As far as the mill goes, I think that's a little expensive, and probably the containers that are down there are shot. They're falling apart. They're just not in good shape. When I picked them up the last time, they were literally falling apart. So I'm thinking if we do something, we'll do something a little less, maybe the plastic whiskey barrels instead of the wood ones, something like that. I'd like to save as much as we can for the mill to try and get more done on it before we invest in this. But it's entirely up to council how you would approach it. So I didn't add the 2 up. Or did I?
1593.71.
Thank you. So $1,593 for 2 benches and 2 planters, and that's before shipping, which would be up to the council.
Oh, 2 benches and 2 planters is more than that. Check the math.
917 and 676?
Fine. Oh, we did the 10%?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I guess my opinion is I know we have to do crack sealing. We have a lot of stuff we need to do this year. Sorry to be a grouch about it. And I don't know, lots of new benches and stuff, but I would go on with whatever the council decides. I just know that we have a lot of other maintenance stuff road-wise that we have to do as well.
Right. I have to say that I really do like the look that the village has now with, the seating. I never had seating before. It's a big change. It's been a big improvement. I don't know how it's going to work having a bench by the memorial here. It can't stick out and it can't be in front of the memorial,
Oh,
because that's a driveway there. So against the face of the building would work, but
it wasn't.
I wasn't.
There was a complaint about the benches blocking
Yeah, I heard
the
about
view
that.
or whatever is on there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, they wanted, the complaint was they didn't want the benches in front of the monument.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was put there for the holiday
It was,
party.
if you move them back
Yeah.
and sticking out, it would be better, but it's really not a very practical place because of the driveway there. And I really, I don't see the utility of it. I can see having one there or somewhere, but maybe by the flagpole or something, but I'm willing to listen. I wasn't present at the decorating committee when they talked about doing this, so I can't read
Well, we
it.
didn't have a meeting, actually. We just got an email.
Okay.
So that probably said we did it.
Hey, that's fine.
Judy, as a question for you, are we spent forward on decorating committee budget? I know that last year we spent into one of the budgets ahead. so we could get the Christmas decorations, or were we flush?
They were below budget.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't.
I just want to make sure that we were spending forward. So I mean, I guess if they want to spend half the budget, you know, month 3 or month 1 of the new budget, so yeah. I don't want to keep throwing them.
Why don't we postpone this one till after, the next meeting is the 7th.
Well, the problem is this sale is tomorrow and the next day. So orders have to be placed to get that discount. Yeah. I'm fine, but she may not, or the committee may not want to do it if they don't get price break, which is understandable.
I don't understand getting new benches if they don't want them in front of the memorial anyway. Let's take those out of there, right?
Yeah, it would be problematic, getting snow.
Where can they go? Is there somewhere else they can go on the road?
Well, we don't have a bench on the side of, by,
Safety design.
distinctive design thing.
But they park their trucks pretty close to the building.
They do.
Yeah.
Really need room for that.
I don't think half of the benches, so she's just looking to make it look the same.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think the planter was planning to go on both, the south side of Elmwood. Right, so you have one east and west of Rochester, not benches.
But do they have a say in whether or not objects are put in front of their place?
I mean,
they park really
I would
close.
want to ask
Yeah,
them.
Yeah, they've got some, they do have nice,
Thank you, Clea.
They have
Nice
nice
guy.
yeah, it really is nice. I mean, they've always been real good about having a nice appearance, so I don't want to force them into something
That's
they may not want.
right. It's in their way.
But benches that are in front of 4464, I always want to say the Zerwick House because I know the Zerwicks lived there years ago.
That's okay. Since
They're old. They're the donated benches that they're not in the greatest shape. I mean, they're better than nothing, I guess. If you need sort of.
as long as you're-
But certainly, if they'd be happy. They seem happy to have them there. So
I mean, they're not dangerous, are they? Just set up.
no, and they're on village. Everything is on village property for the most part. So
Is there a bench out here?
No.
One little bench here.
in front of the hall.
I think there's one.
The one that they're saying to put on the side here. Just put it in front, right next to.
Yeah, we could put it on one side of the
There's
public notice board. Yeah. No, that's definitely a possibility.
Instead of putting it under the memorial, just put it right in front of the village hall.
And the other possibility would be by the flagpole, because that area is not used.
You said flagpole, do you mean
The big flagpole,
this section right here that's
right outside.
vegetables sometimes?
Yeah, that's shared property there.
Oh, it's shared.
Well, Dave owns, Mr. Rathberg owns the well pump and everything west. And the village has everything east of that. So,
So if there's a cucumber that passes the line, I'm not
yeah.
gonna.
Well, Dave always says everybody's welcome to help themselves to whatever he grows there.
And maybe he doesn't want his well pump covered with a fake rock. She was suggesting. That's his, right?
Yes. That would be an interesting conversation, Mr. Rathberg.
You might like it the way it is.
You'd be hard pressed to get him to spend money on that, I think, but I'm just speculating.
Okay.
Okay, what's the pleasure of the council? Do we want to buy a couple of planters at least to take advantage of the sale, or? We know we want more benches than that eventually, if we can figure out,
Maybe 2 planters in the bench.
I think that the inference from her email to me was that a bench and 2 planters
Would suffice for now.
would suffice, because, but Now, one bench would be relatively easy to place. I don't think we can actually do anything in front of the memorial because
No,
the village is in and out of there, and when we're not in and out of there, people park there. So, I hate to be the one, but I'm going to suggest that if we do it, let's get a couple of planters and a bench.
Because the two planters that you're talking about replacing are like gone, like they can't be used much longer. Don, you said there was two planters that were gone. or-
there's actually 4 gone there, but he's talking about not putting the planters
Yeah,
there.
and not doing any up there.
Oh, not doing
No,
it.
yeah.
It needs more.
It's far enough away from downtown that it's not really,
We really should just clear them out.
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
eliminate them,
yeah.
period.
Or, yeah, either put a garden bed in, plant something, bush or something at each corner, or do something like that. Or buy some fake wood planters, the plastic kind. I think they're about 45 or 50 bucks a piece. But the problem has been picking them up every fall and putting them in the DPW. They're getting wear and tear, and then 2 years ago, I think they were never even taken in. So they were buried out there, in snow, and they took a beating.
Okay, so I guess I will make a motion to purchase 2 planters and 1 bench. For the decorating committee to place.
Okay. And we know that that would be, do the math,
1393.71.
but that was with two
Yeah.
benches, right?
Oh, that was, excuse me, and you know what, I
So-
didn't put tax on that either, so you know
There
what,
won't
let's.
be any tax.
Oh,
that's right.
Can I make the motion to not exceed 1,500? Is that should?
Well, it should be closer to, bench is $509, so,
Closer to 1,300, I think.
So
yeah,
not to exceed 1,300, be safe?
yes, I think so. Including shipping? That's the thing, we don't know shipping.
That's,
Yeah, we'll end up paying whatever it costs to ship it regardless.
I think, I'm assuming it would be a couple $100 to
Yeah,
ship.
that's what I'm
You said that
thinking, too.
10% is probably
Yeah,
quote unquote for shipping,
It's 1,083.
with no shipping, correct?
Yeah, except I subtracted the 509, so it would have been 509 because it was 10% off of 500.
right.
Okay,
So that would cover the shipping.
So not to exceed 1,300,
I think that'll work,
should be safe.
yeah.
So the purchase of 2 planters, 1 bench, not to exceed 1,300.
Is there a second for that? I'll make the second. Sorry, Jay. Yeah, that's okay. Here, any questions on the motion? Hearing none?
No.
Was it? Yvonne?
No.
Okay. Can we have a roll call then?
McDonald,
Yes.
Swack,
Yes.
Kennedy,
Sorry, did you say?
Kennedy,
Abstain.
okay.
I don't know if you can,
You can say no.
by law. Yeah, you can say no.
You can say no.
I mean,
I
so,
thought there are 3 choices, but at least by Robert's rules that I remember, yay, nay, or abstain. Abstain basically says that you're not taking.
by Robert's rules, yes, but by state law,
Oh, okay.
you have to be excused from voting due to either a conflict of interest or with the permission of the council.
Gotcha.
So if you want to abstain, we can do a motion before this motion.
No, that's fine. I'll say no.
Okay.
Okay, so Kennedy was a no, Pelichick
Yes.
and Hawkins.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that's 4 ayes, 1 no. Motion carries. Okay, thank you. I know it was a long process, but we learned that about don't want it in front of the memorial and things like that. And that all has to be taken into account. Okay, we have no old business at this time. DPW, we had to buy a new battery for the tractor. It was only 6 years old, I don't know, you know. But we had a new battery, and then the warning beacon on the top of the roof had quit working, so I fixed that. So we're back to being where we should be, I guess. We are going to try to get some more salt in pretty quick in the barn. We've got enough for a couple storms, but I'd like to. We have a minimum amount to buy anyway, so we might as well get the salt if we have to store it for summer.
That keeps all year, it's not. a
But yeah,
problem.
yeah. It might get hard when you just break it up a little bit with the tractor. Okay, President's report. I don't believe I got any FOIA requests this month. Did we? Okay, thank you. We did not receive any assistance requests through the block grant program. I have not taken any ordinance enforcement action. Let's see. The sewer committee is going to be meeting this month, February 27th, in person here at the hall. And then trustee committee reports. Anything for the summer festival committee? I think we're still kind of waiting on the summer festival committee to provide us with some documentation from last year, but they didn't have any meetings the last part of last year, so that'll be yet to be dealt with.
They don't usually meet in February. I do know that they're starting the process of application for the grant through Oakland County Parks and Rec.
Oh,
Somebody did reach out to me about,
Yeah,
helping them with the grant, so I know that that's underway, but I don't think that anything else is going to be done yet. That's all I know.
thank you, Lori. Good. Okay, cable commission, John, anything?
The only thing that they mentioned was they have not received any PEG or franchise fees from us. Leonard, that's
That's true. I'm waiting for the auditor,
Oh,
because
okay.
I don't have the book.
John, we're having our books audited right now. And when we do that, the auditor tells us how much to send the cable. So as soon as we have it, you'll get it. Any idea how much? He's got all the information that we need at this point?
Right.
Is
Yeah.
he okay? I mean,
Yeah,
Okay,
they've been ill, and
yeah.
just
I
like,
had heard that, yeah. Okay, John, you can tell whoever, but we'll get it to them as soon as we get it. It might be a couple months.
I hope not, but
Yeah, we hope not, but you know.
Do we get audited every year?
No, by state law, your community has to be above a certain amount of money for them to require a yearly audit. So we qualify for every other year. So we do every other year. But it covers,
he really audits 2 years. There's just forms that have to be filled out every second year.
Yeah,
But he basically does a 2-year.
which it saves us a significant amount of money,
Tons of numbers.
not to have to do it every year, because it's $15,000 plus or minus. And he also does our Act 51 monies as well, so that's for the highway fund. Okay, I think we covered the decorating committee, or did we, Yvonne?
Well, John has got a lot of ideas, I don't know, sounds like
Okay.
they're gonna be expensive.
Well,
It's gonna help them.
as soon as Alex gets his crack sealing done on the roads, we'll talk about that.
Get those cracks filled up.
Okay, I gave you the big news on the North Oakland Transportation Authority. It's gonna be a transitional year, that's for sure. we're adding 3 routes to serve just Addison, Oakland, or not Addison, Orion, and Oxford. Plus, the county is hoping that if we can obtain a couple more buses beyond those 3, which means we have to get 3 new vehicles, they'd like us to expand our service area larger. That's for 2023. Then in 2024, they've speculated that they would like us to start serving Brandon Township. That's one of the names. Brandon or Independence or both. However, I know you don't want to hear all the facts, so briefly, NODA has reserved the right in our agreement with the county to determine whether and where we will expand. And that's, of course, based on how much they're willing to contribute to pay for it. And we don't know because we don't know what money they're going to offer us. And beyond that, we wanted to keep NODA is owned by Addison residents, us included, Addison, Orion, and Oxford. All the assets, we've got over $2 million in building, our building, and we're putting $800,000 into it this year for expanding the parking lot and getting a fuel station on it. Not to mention all the vehicles that we own. Some of them are owned by Smart and they rotate in and out. But we also purchased vans because we wanted a larger surface area than Smart was willing to give us money for. And we have expanded our hours. We're a 7-day-a-week operation. Saturdays are a little bit busy, but Sundays aren't real busy because it's mostly church, things like that. It's a good thing. I mean, our residents are getting the benefit.
So when you say we expand our reach, is this just, hey Brandon, as an example, hey Brandon, we're available to you now. Are people contacting NODA to say, hey, pick up?
We've always had, Brandon has approached us in the past. Auburn Hills had approached us to serve them.
Wouldn't Smart know?
Oh, Smart.
They seem like they're so far. So
Unfortunately, that's one of the reasons that we're here, that we're looking at what happened. The Smart communities could see that Smart wasn't able to operate without the millage that they were getting from the Smart communities in southern Oakland County. When Auburn Hills said we're going to drop out because we don't feel we're getting enough service, they started approaching us and other service providers, and I think the county commissioners in those areas lost their minds. They said, we can't lose Smart, we're not going to reduce our service. So they deliberately did not renew the millage that expired last year for Smart. So on August 7th of last year, they passed a resolution to put a ballot question on the ballot for November of 0.95 mils, which was half a mil less than the southern communities were paying. And started talking to us, NODA, WODA, and OPC about can we work together on this? The answer from all from the three organizations was no, not unless we have to. I mean, we have great operating systems.
That's a stretch too.
I mean, we had to hire, full-time people. We have to hire 5, 6 more drivers because most of our drivers are part-time. So, it's just a whole lot more administration. But the outcome was that the millage passed. NODA didn't levy its own millage. OPC did because they weren't sure. They didn't want to trust. Nobody really trusts the county. So that's how we ended up where we are, basically. The county is still trying. They've had an open job open job recs for 4 people to be the Oakland County Transit Department. They haven't found anybody yet. They need 1 manager and 3, I guess maybe 1 director and 3 managers, I guess is how we set it up. So I'm still dealing with the same people that I was dealing with last year after the election passed. I mean, and they've set the job, the executive director job is $160,000, and the three,
Find anybody
yeah, they can't find anybody.
with the skills that are needed?
They don't even know what's, I mean, really, they're so used to turning the smart and saying, do this, do that. Now, because of this millage, they have to manage it. And their economic development department is managing it due to the absence of having a dedicated administration. So, and I'm sure they'll work through that. But I mean, that's a chunk of change out of that village too. You're talking about a $500,000 department before you even have a location. You know,
Nobody's working.
Yeah,
They're just
yeah,
open.
so anyway, I don't need to go on about it. I know way too much about it. I wish I didn't know as much as I know. That's the God's honest truth. Okay, so I took off on a tangent there. I
Planning
apologize.
commission will be next.
Planning Commission, there will be a meeting?
We'll have a meeting this Thursday,
Okay,
7 o'clock,
Great.
right here.
very good. Okay, Pollyant Trail Management Council has a meeting Wednesday. Pretty quiet due to the weather. They did have a few trees down after that one big blow, but things are pretty good.
They're gonna have a bottle drive.
Oh, that's right, Judy. Judy will tell us about it. Go ahead, Judy.
We're doing, the Pollyant Trail and Oxford Edison Youth Assistants are gonna do a bottle drive for the whole month of March.
So will they accept bottle slips instead of the bottles themselves?
Yes.
Absolutely.
From, I'm assuming my.
That's less work
I know, that's
for
what
Judy
I'm
and I.
asking.
Because Judy and I
When's it
have
starting
always
again?
taken
March
it.
1st. March 1st?
I've seen
We'll
the
run for a
bottle,
month.
so
Yeah.
I've seen
The whole month of March.
Yeah.
And if you want to make bottle donations, starting March 1st, you can put them outside the village of Oxford
behind the police station.
by the police station. There'll be a sign up that'll say bottle drop off.
It's
I was going to suggest putting a sign in front of your house, but
Yeah.
you're so far off the beaten
Oh, I
track
see.
that.
You ever apply the transcripts?
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you for that, Judy. Okay, Village Park, I don't think we have anything going on there at this time. And Community Development Block Grant, they still aren't sending out a report. And I did talk to, I was at a meeting, can't remember which one it was at the moment, but a couple other communities said it wasn't block grant. There's also, I guess there's whatever changes they made at the county computer system, they're having a terrible time getting them fixed, getting it to run right. So, so we're not the only ones that are suffering for lack of a report. But there's really no change.
And there's no request for them anyhow, so.
No.
Now it's something that needs to be.
And we did just turn in the required agreement and all that, so we should be all set. Okay, I don't have any correspondence. Is there anything else council members would like to bring forward? If not,
We'll make a motion to close the meeting at 8:04.
adjourn.
Adjourn.
Thank you. It does make a difference.
So you got it? I would make a motion to adjourn this meeting at 8:05.
Support that.
Okay, motion in second. All in favor of the motion to adjourn at 8:04, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Thank you, council.